Okay, welcome to another episode. Super proud of us for keeping this going. Of Ink and Lore, low key proud, episode 5 of Ink and Lore. And I am Miranda. I'm one of your hosts. And then
I'm Kate.
we also have Kate. And then Erin, say hi.
Hi.
Hi. And then we also have Cassie. And we are all fantasy authors. And we are writing and or in the publishing trenches or querying trenches or what have you of our fantasy books. So we love to just talk about all things fantasy. We love to talk about the tropes. We talked about that. We've talked about some favorite books, some DNFs. We just kind of talk about all the things. So this episode, we are going to talk about kind of the lore, ink and lore, the lore behind our books of that we are either currently writing, like works in progress. And this is lingo for anyone who doesn't know. I had to learn all this lingo stuff. So WIP means work in progress. So for our work in progress and or the book that we have already finished writing and are in the publishing trenches, whether it be self-publishing or querying for traditional publishing. So we're going to start with Cassie. Let's start with you.
Okay. So I am currently in my work in progress, and I am a long ways off from publishing at this point.
That's okay.
But I guess thinking about what inspired my book and everything. So this is gonna sound super weird, but I kind of wanted it to be like Bridgerton meets Vikings, if that makes sense.
Love that.
Well, on like
So,
Like perfect combo.
you know. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it will if you read my book.
I think it makes
still
perfect sense.
intrigue, you know what I mean? And all of that, and all the balls and stuff that Bridgerton had. And then
Love it.
Vikings coming in, like some Norse mythology coming into it also.
Love it.
And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm really bad at this because I'm still trying to figure it out as I'm writing and as I'm trying to build it. So
would you say that your book, well, give the title of your book.
The Storm That Woke Me.
Okay. Storm That Woke Me. So Storm That Woke Me, do you feel like this is more of like a cozy read or is it more like higher fantasy level? Like where do you feel like you're or like straight romantasy? Where do you feel like you're at?
I don't feel like it's super high fantasy, and I don't feel like it's a very cozy read because
A happy
there's
medium.
a lot of dark things going on in it. But it's not and I even kind of, the romantasy part of it, I feel like sometimes that catches me because mine is not spicy. I mean, at least I haven't made it that way. And so I'm like, it's a slow burn romantasy. So I almost sometimes feel like if you say romantasy, people are like, oh, it's spicy. But that's not always the case. And so,
Not always the case.
yeah.
Yeah.
Love
Okay.
it.
I love that. But that's like something I've seen very few of is like leaning into the Norse
Yeah.
mythology and putting that into fantasy. So I love that. The one that comes to my mind is the Road of Bones. Have you read
Mm-mm.
That's on my list.
that's like Norse mythology. It's independent published, so yay, independent publishers. But you should check that out because it's all woven in there of Norse mythology.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that.
I love
I
that.
was trying to not make it super, super Norse Viking-ish, but I kind of took bits and pieces of it and put it in the lore, like the background, almost religion type in my book.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I mean, you're not going to see Thor and all of that, but it's there's certain things that kind of play.
Thor is what helped to inspire my main male characters. So I'm like,
I mean, my character is literally Thor.
Yeah.
That's how I.
That's a great character to pull inspiration from.
Yes.
for sure. So Kate, you are more in the publishing trenches.
Yes, I am.
Tell us about your lore.
So my work in progress, I guess it's still a work in progress because it's not published yet. So I will still call it a work in progress, but it's called Born of Shadow and Flame. And while I did start querying, I also decided to self-publish my book too. So I have a bunch of queries out in the ether, just kind of put them out there, waiting to see what happens. I have 10 of them left still. And I also went through the whole process of finding an editor. And I also found my book illustrator, which we kind of talked about in past episodes. But I am like so excited about all that. And I don't know, Miranda, because I know you've kind of done this already, but when you like booked all that stuff and had it lined up, I just felt this like,
Oh, it's a
I don't
huge
know, like this like
huge weight. It's like
wave of relief just there
wait
pulled
till
over
you
me.
get when you get back your, like, final drafts, like,
Yeah.
we had, like, 4 drafts, right? Like, went back and
Mhm.
forth between me and my editor, and then I got that final one back, and she literally put on there, "There's really nothing more that I would change." And I was
Oh,
just like,
and you were probably like, I'm done.
"Oh, like,
I'm done. Like, I did
ah!"
it. I did it. It's just
It's like,
I
"Oh
don't
my god,
know, it's just exciting,
birth
and
a
I'm
child again."
yeah.
So I actually told her she and I, like, DM, and she sends me memes. It's the most random thing, and we'll, like, comment on TikToks together. She commented on something, or she DM'd me, and I said something about how she was my midwife. I was like, "You helped me birth this child," and she was like, "That's the description of my job I think I've ever had."
That's
That's
incredible.
awesome.
I
So,
love
yeah,
that.
it's a weight just gone because it's like I
Yeah.
poured my heart and soul into this, and now I get to give it over to the world, which is terrifying.
I know. It's terrifying, but it's also, like, super exciting, and I'm just so excited for it all to come to fruition, but my editor messaged me today, actually, because I haven't given it to her yet, because her slot time was, like, September 22nd to October 22nd or
Yeah.
whatever. So, she messaged me today, and she was like, "So excited to work with you, send it
Oh,
over to me this weekend," and I was like, "Okay."
Oh, it's so exciting.
it's happening!
Yeah, so I'm just really excited about that. But my book is very much inspired. I feel like I've pulled a lot of different things from a lot of different places, like
Mhm,
not even just books. Of course, Akatar and Throne of Glass. I loved the power of the female heroine in those, so I wanted a strong female character in my story. And I loved, like the world building and fantasy level of Harry Potter. Like that's just ingrained in me. Harry
mhm,
Potter, Chronicles of Narnia, just like that whole fantasy element of a totally different world. So I guess my book would definitely be considered like an epic fantasy because it's a total, there's different levels, there's like new adult fantasy, new world fantasy, epic fantasy, high fantasy, and it's very difficult to figure out where you
I
fall.
still don't know where I fall.
Right.
Still
I
not
think
sure.
I'm pretty sure if you create the entire world, like this is a world that does not exist and you have created it, that would be considered like an epic fantasy.
Yeah, sure.
Because,
A word.
well, it's epic that you've created this new world, but it's also like
Take it.
super detailed and there's so much world building and stuff, which I've found kind of a little difficult. I think that was a hard thing to wrap my mind around, like how to world build without info dumping.
Yeah.
But other things inspired it too. Like I loved the show Avatar: The Last Airbender when I was younger, and I loved like, the idea of the elements. So I kind of drew from that and like added a couple things myself. And I also love like League of Legends, the arcane. It's a show, but it's also a video game. I love civil unrest. Okay, like I go feral for like rebellion and little resistance groups and the whole like government structures falling, and I just love that stuff. So I incorporated that into my book too. So my book has a lot of elements as well as some romantic side stories, but romance, like Cassie, you were saying, like yours doesn't really have spice. Mine doesn't really have spice either. Like there's a lot of yearning in
Mhm.
it. And there will be, more romantic parts in future books, but I kind of went along a very slow burn situation only because I felt like that was the most natural path for the storyline to take. But yeah, I'm very excited and I love it very much. And I can't wait to share it with everybody.
I love it too.
I just love how you, like, take all these little pieces that are from
Mhm.
not just, like, adulthood either, it's, like, childhood stuff,
Mhm.
where you are, like, putting that and weaving it into your story. I think it's just
Well, I also started writing this story when I was like 16.
That's crazy.
Like
Yes,
I
that's
was a kid when I
amazing.
wrote it, that's probably why.
I
Because
love
my brain
that.
was not developed at 16 to write anything like this. Ain't no
No,
way.
no.
It wasn't good. It wasn't good, and it's actually permanently deleted from the current book, but the
but the
whole
premise
idea,
was
the
there.
premise was there. I
It's been
had to go.
brewing.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
It's fun.
So, Erin,
Yeah.
tell us your title and then tell us, like, the lore kinda
Yeah.
behind your
So
work.
I'm also in work in progress stage. I'm currently still writing it. It's going to be called Wild and Forged. And again, like you guys, I kind of took just bits and pieces of things that I love or am obsessed with, found a way to kind of geek out and like have it all in there. So I would say the like top things that inspired the plot and the characters, quite honestly. The number one thing is astrology. I'm an astrology nerd. I love it. My friends and family love that for me. And this was like a perfect way. I have a couple that like willingly listen to my things about it, but it was like I had all of this in my head and like it's such a cool lens to like look at life through. Like I'm not very religious, so this would be like a replacement for that in my life where it gives me like a sense of purpose and a sense that things are planned out and I'm on the right path. And so I love incorporating that into the story. And so what started as an idea of just like naturey, kind of pagan theme, fantasy novel turned into symbolism for something that's called the Saturn return. And so basically what that is I don't know how familiar you guys, I'm not gonna like totally geek out and like
Geek out.
give you an education
That's
right
what
now,
this is for. Geek out.
but so basically everybody has what's called a natal chart. So like people know their sign, right? It's like that's your sun sign. But you have a sign for every different planet. You have a moon sign, you have a rising sign. So you have a whole chart. And the way that it kind of plays is it's like it's kind of like a blueprint. A lot of people think of it that way, where you have certain planets in different houses. It's kind of split up into like pie shape. And so those things, like wherever things are placed, can have different meanings or different like patterns, essentially. And so the Saturn return is super important because Saturn's an outer planet. So it's like the further you get out, the bigger the impact because it takes so long for it to orbit. And so the Saturn return it happens every like 30-ish years. So normally people get like 2, you get 3 if you're lucky. But the first one is like 27 to 30 years old. And essentially it's like, buckle up, baby. Like, like you're an adult now. Like this is life. You better have a solid foundation or you're going to reevaluate everything. And huge themes can happen for everyone at that age. It can obviously look different based on where Saturn is in your chart. For me personally, it was a lot of like boundary setting and father themes. And for my husband, it was a lot of career stuff. And so it's a big, big shift. And it's kind of like you spend your whole life up until that point, like getting tools, but you don't know why you need them. And then after that, you're like, oh, this is why I have these tools. Like, this is why I need them. So the plot was like inspired by that, which it's like, micro, where it's like a literal labyrinth that they go in at this age and they don't come out the same. Like, so the labyrinth is going to challenge them in lots of ways and it's going to challenge them in individual ways. And yeah, they're not going to come out the same.
I feel
So
like that might be one of the most unique plot lines I've ever heard in my
Yeah.
entire life.
I geeked out hard. It was fun to because I was like,
Love the idea. Like,
yeah.
it's her version of Trials,
Yes.
Yeah.
kind of, and I feel like Trials can be overdone or done in a cliche way.
Yeah.
And I feel like a Labyrinth is kind of a unique spin on Trials. I like that.
It's like a metaphor for like
Yeah.
that time of your life. Like you're literally going through a maze
You're
of
going
your
through trials. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so
Yeah,
cool.
totally. Yeah.
That.
Well, and it kind of plays on, there's a symbol in Buddhist and Hindu culture called a unalome. Do you guys know have you ever seen that? So it's like, it's this really cool symbol, like where the bottom of it has like a spiral. So labyrinth, basically. And it symbolizes like chaos and trials and just life, like learning the struggles and how it's not linear at all. And you're going to like
come back to the same things and you're going to have to relearn it. And then above that is kind of like this wavy, like back and forth. So again, like it's not linear, like you are going to have to revisit the same things. And then there's like a straight line, which would be kind of more like you're getting enlightened in a sense. You've learned a lot and you're like heading straight for what you're supposed to or what your soul's meant to. And then there's like normally a little dot at the top, which would signify like death or like nirvana, like enlightenment, like full, no ego type of thing. So I kind of like meshed the two because I love that symbol. If I would get a tattoo, that would be what it would be. But I thought that that was kind of cool that like that had the labyrinth kind of symbol in there too. And they kind of both really mesh well with kind of the same meaning. So
That's
yeah.
so cool.
I think that's so
That was
cool.
the plot. The characters I wrap in astrology too. So I have 4 kingdoms symbolized by each element. And then the characters from air, for example, are going to be really talkative or they're going to be like really intuitive and like philosophical. So like I brought in different traits and they're represented with the characters from the kingdom. So it was kind of a fun way to like get different personalities in there in kind of a concrete way. So
Yeah,
I
I
love
find a lot of similarities between those details of your book and my own because
yes.
I do the same thing like with mine, like with I have the realms kind of there's 6 of them and they're separated by like a little bit of like personality and what like your abilities and like who you are,
Yeah.
how you're born as, and I think that's so cool. I love
It's a
stuff like
fun way to play
I
with
do.
characters too, especially if
Like
you
Avatar again,
Mhm.
like Avatar. Like I grew up on that too, like the
Yeah.
last Bender, and they all kind of like the personality. Like you were saying, like air, and I think about like
Mhm.
airbenders, and they're very philosophical.
Dang.
Yeah, like yeah, it fits. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I love it, Erin. Very
Yeah.
cool.
I love that. That's so cool. I
It's
think it's
fun.
too where I mean in general, I feel like powers in the fantasy like world, a lot of them are repeated, right?
Mhm.
Like a lot of like thought, behind all these powers or what have you. It's either elemental or it's something like mental,
Mhm.
what have you. But I think it's cool that even then, as an individual author, you can take that and spin it in different directions and it
Yeah.
means something like a little different for everybody. And I think that's
Mhm.
cool to make a magic system,
It's a
like
really fun part about being an author is making the magic
it
system.
is. That
Yeah.
is like that
I
was my fun
out
part,
over
but
it.
also really challenging.
But also it's
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
It's
hard.
so hard.
It's like you have to have a power and then you also have to have a price for using
Yeah.
Yes.
the power.
Like
Yeah,
what's
I
And
asked you guys about that. Yeah.
yeah, and like where does it come from?
Mhm.
And how do they get it? And
Mhm.
used and like all these different things. And it's like I remember like going through and I was like looking at plot holes and I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't work. Because
Yeah.
before I said this and now
Mhm.
I'm this, the magic can't work that way. We're gonna have to go back and we have to fix this. And it's
yeah.
that
Yeah.
yeah, that's really it's interesting how you can like take it and like spin it in all those
Get
different
around.
ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Well, you can still say it's a work in progress because until it's on a printed page, I ain't saying
That's how I
nothing.
feel.
You're almost there.
So, I'm almost there.
You're the
This part is
closest of
good.
all of us, okay?
Yes, I'm so close, y'all. It's like I can taste it. So I'm
It's right
supposed to.
there.
And for anyone who's like doing independent publishing, or maybe you've already done, I might be doing it a really difficult way. I don't think I am, but
I don't think you are.
I don't think I am. I don't think I am. So after all the edits and everything, which that took about a month of editing and then back editing and getting it back and sending it again. And then finally getting my final edit. And then I made the decision to use a formatter, interior formatter. And the reason is one, I wanted it to look very fantasy. So you know, unique fonts and there's like little header designs and stuff and like all this stuff. So I was like, okay, I want to do that. And then I also want to make sure when I go to take this to Amazon KDP, Barnes Noble Press, Ingram Spark, all these different places where you get them printed, I wanted it to be formatted correctly because it actually is kind of a headache. I didn't realize until mostly for the Ingram Spark side of things, which is where if you ever want it inside of like a small bookstore, like a local bookstore, that's where they order it from, is Ingram Spark. That's where they get your book into their store. And it's also where you can do like hardcover. which I intend on doing by the end of the year. So anywho, it is now with the formatter. It's ending up being about a 10 to 12 day process. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get it back probably tomorrow or Wednesday. And then it will be finito. Finito. And then because it was in 8x11 format, double spaced, Times New Roman font. And then they're putting it in pretty font, doing all the pretty things, putting it in 6x9 format. I will then have an official page count. So I didn't really have a page count before. Now I will. And once I have that page count, then you have to go into Ingram Spark and tell it all these things and like how many pages it is. You have to also go into Amazon KDP and say how many pages it is so that it gives you a little format tool to give to your cover illustrator so that they then make sure like all the margins work out and all the things, right?
Okay.
So she's like in the wings. She's got it designed. Y'all have seen it.
So pretty.
I love it.
So
Seen
pretty.
it. So, you guys and my husband, you're it. My
I
husband was
can't
like,
wait to have it in my hands.
I know.
I know.
nice. And I'm
It'll
like,
be on that shelf.
it'd be on that shelf. Right? I'm so excited. So it is almost there. I made the decision that my official public release date is going to be October 28th.
I saw.
Like hell or high water.
Love it.
So I'm hoping, my prayer is that within the next 2 weeks, my ARC readers will have it in their hands and then I will be done. I will have birthed my baby.
I love that.
And yeah,
excited
it's
for
crazy.
you.
And what's cool though, I think, and we've talked about this before, it's the same as like writing your first book and finishing it. Like I'm already writing my second book and Kate is too. It's much easier this time around. And I feel like now the publication part is just going to be so much easier. I already have a book
Know
illustrator.
what to do.
I've already worked with her. I already have my editor. Like I don't have to hunt people down. So anyway, I digress. So that's, lessons to learn if you're thinking about independently publishing. It is not an easy button that you just,
No.
and you can't just save it as a PDF and just pray. I mean, I guess you can, but
Do it.
Recommended.
too much of a perfectionist to do that. So, and I've shared with everyone here, I shared with them what the formatter did with my book, and I'm super, super pleased with it. I think it's
It
going to
looks
be,
so good.
I didn't even show you guys the whole thing, like all the stuff. It's just going to
Can't
be,
wait.
it's going to be so good. Like my little dedication, it looks so pretty. Anywho, so my work in progress / nearly birthed is Beneath the Silent Stars. And I pulled my lore from multiple places, just like I think everyone has. Probably female main character pulls heavy from, of course, Throne of Glass. I feel like that's pretty standard. But also, I'm a huge Carissa Broadbent fan, mostly because she's an independent author, but also the Daughters of No World series. I'm a huge fan of that series. I read it right after Throne of Glass. I was in this huge slump and I was like, good gosh, what do I read? I tried Poppy. She failed me. Failed.
I think Poppy's going to come up every episode.
Literally, it's like a sponsor of this podcast for you.
I know.
Down with me, Poppy. But I took those books to Goodwill today, all of them.
Oh, good.
Poppy is dead.
Gone.
She gone. So yeah, so Poppy didn't help me. So I was like, man, I got to find something. And somebody somewhere on Book Talk had suggested Daughters of No World. Have y'all read Daughters of No World?
Not yet.
No.
Okay, so that needs to be like at the top of your TBR because it is prime. Yeah, and she actually starts out kind of weak.
Mm-hmm.
Not how my main character starts out. I didn't want her to start out that way. I wanted, just like Kate, to start out really strong, but have flaws that she has to work through. But the part that I pulled from that I also implemented in the female main character is there's something in her mind is speaking to her. So in my book, she is plagued by a voice in her head, basically, which translates over into, gets real deep into the second book. So I won't give away too much. And that's my metaphor for depression because I struggled with that a lot postpartum and then even like up until fairly recently. So I wanted that forefront. And that was actually, honestly, if I had to pick anything, that's what I centered most of my book around, was her and her mind. And then the magic and all of that developed around that, which I pulled
Oh, I
from
love that.
Like, it's all about stars. Everything's about the stars and the constellations. Not super heavy, like astrology-wise necessarily, but it's different constellations are the deities, and it's kind of an obscure way of looking at it. Yeah, so stars are a big thing, and that's where the magic system comes from. And then I pulled a lot of the magic system from Shadow and Bone, which I love that series. Have y'all read that series?
Yeah, I like that series.
Okay. Oh, Lord. Like Six of Crows. Have y'all read Six of Crows?
I literally have that over there.
Okay, that's prime. So Shadow and Bone was like huge into
Yeah, that was an
Is
Is
inspiration.
that a show too?
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I watched the
Which I
show.
was so sad about because it was such a good show. And
Yeah,
it
it
did
got canceled, right?
I got canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Is
read
that the one with the big wall? Okay. Yes, I did watch that. I haven't
Yes.
read it, but I watched it.
Yeah. So that's where I pulled that from. And then I'm trying to think if there's anything else I pulled from anywhere. And then I really like dystopian. So I was obsessed with the TV show, The 100.
Literally rewatching it right now.
I freaking love that show. I don't know if
Man,
y'all have seen it. It's
what
very
a
young
treasure
adult.
on the CW.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
dude, so hard. The 100 was kind of my idea. I didn't pull a ton from it other than like the female main character being strong, but the dystopian effect of it I pulled from.
Mhm.
So my world's pretty bleak.
Yeah.
Because it's all kind of
It's not cozy.
not cozy. This is not a cozy read. This is a thought-provoking, make you cry kind of read.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all the whole, even like the landscape and everything in it is very post-apocalyptic. There's only one area, which makes me think of like it's like Erin's little pocket of the world is like lush and green and kind of protected.
Yeah.
That Volps.
Do it.
Is that Volps?
Yes. Volpez. Yeah, Volpez. Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. That's my version of Achilles. So,
Yeah. You know, I did hear one time that
Sorry.
I did hear one time that you should never make fun of somebody for mispronouncing a word because that means they learned it reading instead of hearing it.
Yeah. Hey,
So there you go.
All right. So, Miranda, you should be proud of me.
there you go. See?
It's Volps.
Yeah. Volps.
Have you guys ever
I
thought of
honestly,
doing like a pronunciation guide for your book?
I've thought about, I was literally getting ready to say that. I'm like, do I put one or not? I kind of like the idea that people come up with their own names, like
Me
in their
too.
head. I think I told y'all
Who
that like,
cares?
Potter, it was Hermione.
Hermione.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. It was Hermione. And so when I went and saw the movies, and I was like, Hermione? Like, what the heck is this? Not real?
I think I
You
would
know, so-
always pronounce it Hermione or something. It's like Hermione.
Yeah.
That's a weird
Yeah.
name.
And then like Hagrid. I think I called him
Hagrid.
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 And
Oh,
like
yeah. That one makes sense.
there were a lot of them that I was just like I completely mispronounced.
Yeah.
But
That's the fun of it.
I'm torn about doing like a pronunciation guide as well as a glossary because I love Moonhatched. I loved that thick glossary at the front. Love that.
Yeah.
It's like
That
sick.
is fun.
And you had to like what does this word mean? You go back and you look at it.
Yeah.
And it's cool.
Fun to kind
Yeah.
of do like
I
that.
think it's just preference. One of the books that I read recently, it was indie published. I don't know. I've never seen a traditionally published book that has this, but she did a playlist
Oh yeah.
Really?
at the beginning. Yeah, she had her playlist on there, which I thought
love
was kind of
that.
fun
That's so
because I have a
fun.
whole playlist
Me too.
and there's definitely certain songs that like go with each chapter.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of thought that might be fun to put in there, but that again would be like hit or miss with people, but
It would just be literally one song.
one
And
song, the one you said.
Time. Yeah, it's the epic. I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's epic something, and it's Riders of Rohan, like the whole time.
Yeah.
Just,
I love
but
it.
the epic version. You have to look up the epic version.
Yeah.
I think I played that sucker probably 40 times while I was in a major battle scene, like just to get like
Oh yeah.
get pumped up. I know.
Yes.
Like I'm at. Yeah. Yeah.
so
So
great.
I love like how there's just like all these influences that come into writing your book, and
Yeah.
these little pieces and parts and all this different stuff from it to like make it all come together, and it somehow in the end it all
Somehow does.
makes sense in the end.
Well, and I think that that's why like people who are drawn to certain books, like that's why there's something for everybody because it's like are those little pieces the pieces that you relate to as the reader. And so that's why it's like so hard because it's like you're going to find fans and people who hate it, no matter like what book it is. Like
Right.
literally, there's no book that everybody loves. And so it's just kind of fun because if you truly find like the people that get your pieces, then they're going to love it.
Yeah. I think
Mhm.
it's neat to where you like start building a community of
Mhm.
like not just through like social media. Like, yeah, you're going to start building that community, which Cassie hit like a big milestone there recently.
Yay!
Yay,
Awesome.
Cassie!
But building up that community, and then also like I think it's really fun. I really enjoy right now sending out newsletters on my email list because I feel like I feel like it takes a lot to sign up for an email list. Like maybe
Oh, it
that's
does.
just me because I don't like to be
Yeah.
spam.
No.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm like,
If I sign up for something, I either want something for free.
Yeah.
or or
Yeah.
I'm drawn to it.
Yeah, sorry, Erin. Last night I kind of forced you to sign up.
Oh no, I was gonna do it anyways. No,
was like
yours I'm
something
fine.
to sign up so I could see if this is working.
No, you're
Yeah.
good. No,
No.
if you're like interested in it though, it's worth your inbox
Yeah.
having a little notification. Yeah.
And I loved Kate, I even loved your like newsletter because it had all these like visuals and stuff and like get you
Yeah, it was so pretty.
excited, and it's just
Thanks, guys.
I have been really loving doing that of like building up that community because I feel like those are going to be the people that kind of stick with you
Yeah.
for the
Yep.
long haul, like especially since I know for me and Kate, ours is a series. I don't know if I've talked about this with Erin and Cassie. Erin, is yours a standalone or is it going to be a series?
No, I'm thinking either two. Right now I'm thinking 3, but I gotta figure out how to make that work. I haven't like planned that far out. I have like one idea that I'm like holding on to that I could make it work, but I gotta figure out what 2 looks like if I'm gonna do 3.
Sure. Yeah,
But definitely 2.
definitely too. Cassie, what do you think about yours?
Planned out for 3, but I feel like it's just one of those things like where my writing takes me kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But I have it
Mhm.
planned for 3 right now.
Okay. Yeah. And then Kate, you're like me. You've got beefy.
3, but they're gonna be beefy.
Yeah.
Crunch
Like
City
mine
beefy.
will be shorter, but I'll have more.
Yeah, like my first book is like 100 well, okay, you guys will be proud of me. Started off at 154,000 words.
Whoa.
Okay. I have it to 130.
That's awesome.
Good job.
That's
Good
a good job.
I'm very proud of myself.
Yeah.
I'm literally like, what can I delete here? Like,
I love
you
her.
get deleted. You get deleted. But that was actually very difficult for me
Yeah.
to do, was delete things from my book because I took a very difficult path with this story. Like my book, first of all, it's told in 2 point of views. Okay. So I
Yes.
have like 2 books in one. And then I also have my main character reading a book from the past. So I also have that book in my book. So it's a third book in the book. And that's like pretty beefy as well. So like that book's probably 150K. I don't know. Like,
It's like you're in Inception or something.
Right.
yeah.
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 So it's going to be beefy. I think max I'll probably have is 3. I want to do it in 3. I like series that are longer, but I feel like if they're too long sometimes I don't lose interest, but like I just
It's
want to
daunting.
it's like a little intimidating,
be.
right? So
Yeah.
first go around, I didn't want to like really intimidate people too much with these giant beefy books and have like 7 500-page books.
Mhm.
I'm trying to do like 3 300-page books. We'll see how it goes. I don't know.
Yeah. I like that. I think I had originally started out with like 6,
Mhm.
but I think I have pared it down to 5.
Okay.
Mhm.
But yours are shorter, right? Like they're
They
not.
are shorter. I don't know what my official page count is.
What do you think it is? What's your guess?
How many words is it?
91.
It's probably like
So like
I think it's like
300-400.
400, 350, 400, something like
350,
that.
I feel like that's perfect.
yeah,
I feel like that's good.
Especially for book 1.
right.
Yeah, it's
Perfect.
not like huge, but it's not like tiny either.
Yeah. If you had 5 of those, that's not daunting at all.
Yeah.
I don't
No.
think it will be. I think I originally had planned out 6, but then the middle I think was getting drawn out a little bit too much. So I was like, I think we can combine this
Mhm.
into she's going to go through like a character arc and
Mhm.
book 3. And then book 4 is a totally different point of view.
Oh, yeah.
5,
Right.
it'll come back around. So yeah, it's crazy too to like think that far out. I
know.
don't know if I outline everything, but I haven't like fleshed all that out yet. So I'm not
Yeah.
sure, like, okay. And then I'll go like ask my husband. Sometimes he's really supportive, but then sometimes he's like, no, but he can't relate because he doesn't read fantasy. So I'm like,
Yeah.
this is, you're not as excited about this as I am.
Yeah.
So we'll ask him and I'll be like, I don't know if I should make them do this or this. Like, what do you think? And he'll be like, oh, I don't know, maybe the first one. And I'm like, "Well, not both." That's why I
This
have
is
you
why we
guys.
have each other.
I know, that's why I have you guys. I'm in there. I'm like, I literally had my format, like those format things. And I was like showing my husband. I was like, look at this. And he's like, oh, they look nice. And I'm like, not what I needed. And I was
Yeah.
like,
I need specifics.
which tea do you like better? What font choice do you like
It
better?
matters.
What graphic? I need to know. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Absolutely. I did get, let's see, I actually have them right here. I have all my stickers.
Oh my
fun.
gosh.
All my stickers. I did the
You're
really hard
incredible.
thing and cut all of them out individually. So, because it just was it's just like money was racking. So I can't do that. So I learned though that you can cut those out with a Cricut, and I know someone who knows someone that has one. So I should have done that, but I did not. So for those of you who get a physical art copy, just know that my hands
hand cut
That's what
sticker.
Randy's right
Yeah.
now. He is dedicated, okay?
dedicated. I got some.
These were all cut out.
There might be a little blood on a couple of them, right?
Yeah, a little blood, lots of sweat. It went onto these stickers. So I'm super proud of them. Super proud of my stickers. One of them is like so niche, like you won't know until you read the book, like what it means.
I
Mhm.
love you.
I think is really cool. So yeah, I'm excited. And I got some
That's so
bookmarks
fun.
and I got some other fun things came from Amazon the other day. So yeah, I'm super pumped.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Just want to hold it in my hand. So yeah, so this has been fun talking about all this and our lore and everything that's in
So
it.
fun.
So next episode, we'll talk about something different. Erin always comes up with the good ideas.
She does.
She does. So we will just keep
I'll
pulling
brainstorm.
from Erin for our episodes. But if you are listening and there's anything specific that you want us to talk about, you can
Oh,
always
yeah, that's a good idea.
or send us a DM on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube Shorts, and I'll answer them. And we'll maybe include that if you have questions, or like even if you're an independent author and you're like, I don't understand this, or this, or I'm struggling with X, Y, or Z. I get DMs like that all the time from people on Instagram and TikTok. So we'll be happy to talk about it on here.
Yeah, could do like a
Yeah.
Q&A published.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening, and tune in next time. Make sure that you subscribe on
There
Spotify.
you go.
almost messed it up. I was going to say Shutterfly. It's not it.
Shutterfly. Oh my God, our age is
It's
showing.
not.